Colleagues, welcome back. I wanted to kind of follow up on my last TMT and talk today again about choices and what they can mean in the context of negotiation. So to a prospective graduate in the final stretch of their professional training, getting the ideal job, mainly maybe residency or fellowship, can be a daunting task. And this is likely because employers, residencies, fellowships, or further training programs receive hundreds to maybe even thousands of resumes and CVs, as well as letter of intents for positions in a very competitive market in today's world. And many of the applications and the applicants' qualifications appear to be very similar on paper. Thus, the execution of differentiating yourself and your candidacy for a position may consume all your energy, and the act and the idea of negotiation often falls to the wayside. As a result, this can be one of the greatest regrets of high-performing individuals in their field. But also, even when realized, many professionals just don't like to do this or understand the many ways to go about negotiating in their career. Well, to dispel the myth, you should not view negotiation as competition, rather as cooperation. The other person or institution is not your enemy. They are actually your partner. The only potential difference is the issues between you two. But y'all are trying to work together to achieve a common goal. That's why you're in an interview together. You're here for the same mission. On the secret of success lies the ability to get the other person's point of view and to see things from the person's angle as well as from your own. And if you accomplish this act, in my view, you will have access to one of the most important keys to successful negotiation. And that is understanding where the other party is coming from and tailoring your response to that point of view, basically. So, how to get started? Well, you need to know what you provide the employer, and then you need to understand what you want as an employee, and then advocate for it. Remember, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So, first you must ask yourself, what is your value to the employer? Then you need to know what you want from the employer or institution. And this latter part involves doing your own research on the market, understanding your personal remuneration numbers, and exuding relaxed resilience, and also developing correct timing for when to respond. So, recognition of your value. That's knowing what your employer values in a potential candidate such as yourself. This involves you communicating openly and often about your specific and personal value in the area of need for the employer. Primarily focusing on the challenges facing the employer and your strong case for why you are the absolute best person for the job to address these challenges. When you discuss what you bring to the table and emphasize with data and examples how valuable your expertise is to an employer or to the institution's mission, you set yourself up for success. Another quote is, "The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it." Again, Dale Carnegie. So after knowing your value and being able to communicate it, another key is reconnaissance and research, which are the standards for negotiation. You need to know what typical benefits, work conditions, and the salary range for your position. So beyond Google searches for salaries in your area, you may want to reach out to mentors or other contacts. For instance, if you have a mentor or mentors in your field, it can be helpful if you've established a relationship to be able to talk about things like career preparation as well as career development with them, so you can further glean information of how you can move forward. And if you're close enough to them, you may be able to gain insight into salary, benefits, and work-life conditions that are potentially negotiable within a set range. You also, if you're lucky enough, you may be able to do reconnaissance from inside information about a specific position via internal contacts. And even if you have any friends or colleagues who work in HR or recruiting, they can often be the first barrier to actually negotiation. So understanding some of the parameters where recruiting and HR works can be highly valuable, provide information about the steps you could take. So after you've done your research and know kind of the range of benefits and salary as well as work conditions that you want, you'll need to come up with your remuneration numbers. And basically this is a combination of the numbers that will make you satisfied to working your job at your highest capability in this partnership with you as an employee and them as an employer. This could be a combination of salary range from ideal to willing to settle number, which I'll go into later, It could be practice hours required for your setting. It could be time off, the amount of time off that you're allowed, or flex time. The number of family benefits with regards to their benefit package, as well as the number of compensated professional development opportunities that will further your career, as well as many other items. Not all of these are negotiable, but you should know what you want for each of them and aim to balance them when you're evaluating offers, or aim to narrow in on them if you're negotiating with a single employer that you're really focused on. The first and most common number is the salary. So focusing on it for an example, in the interview setting, I said you would have to have a range of salaries from ideal to willing to settle. However, that range, in my opinion, is only for you to know. I say this because most candidates tend to tense up and are afraid of offending the employer by giving one firm number when prompted by the employer when they ask, "What are your salary expectations?" The reason I say you should have a range from your ideal to willing to settle number, in my opinion, you should only communicate your ideal number, but your ideal to willing to settle number are kind of the range of, if you get your ideal number, you'll be able to work in the most ideal capacity in your work setting at the highest capabilities of your talents and abilities. The willing to settle number this is the lowest amount, basically your walkaway number. If it's not up to that, then it's not worth what you bring to the table based on your high performance, your ability to contribute value. You need to have this range in your head when either you're discussing with the employer, you need to know like what you're actually getting into with regards to remuneration. So instead, when you have this range in your mind and when you're prompted for this number, you can give a firm response to what your salary expectations are based on your research. Also, you may want to delay this by shifting the conversation, if you're okay with this, by saying, "I'm mainly looking for a position where I'm the best fit with the employer, but I'm sure something around the market rate for my skills and expertise will suffice." Or you could say, "I'm really open to negotiation, but my primary focus at this point is finding the right fit where I can be a valuable asset to the team as a member. Once I find that, I'd be happy to discuss salary, but I don't think that's the focus. I kind of just want to make sure that what I bring to the table is ideal, and then we can discuss salary later." Now keep in mind, this is only about salary. There are many other things to consider when negotiating. But even after a big bad salary negotiation of issues, you'll need to maintain some relaxed resilience. And this is a mindset that involves knowing what you want and going in with leverage while being humble and polite, but still confident. Keep in mind, you've already done your research, you know the company, and you can communicate how you will add value to them if you are selected for the position. Thus, I believe you should really feel safe in saying, with assertiveness, as well as calm, what you want, i.e., I'm fairly confident that this salary is what the market is paying and at what I believe I deserve. However, what if they still give you, and obviously I'm still talking about salary, that is not the only thing, but it's the easiest one I think for people to grasp. However, what if they come to you and the offer is still very low? I think the key to this aspect is still this relaxed resilience. You still need to be relaxed and resilient in the face of adversity, basically, because you've done your research, you know what you bring to the table, and you know what the employer would need. As such, you need to understand that no does not mean no at all, but no potentially right now, or no, but we can get you somewhere in the future. And I think you need to have that mindset of no meaning an opportunity for a different type of aspect. Let's say they can't meet you at the salary negotiation point, but maybe they can meet you with a time off negotiation point, which makes up for it. Maybe they can't meet you at the salary negotiation now, but they would need to see you actually execute on some of the items that you have discussed in the interview, and then they can renegotiate later as long as you could have that in writing. Maybe that's the no, but not right now, but we could in the future. So this relaxed resilience of knowing where you come from and how you can move forward with the employer will be key. Of continuing to form this cooperation with the employer throughout the negotiation. Because it's not a competition, it's a cooperation. You're both in this partnership to achieve a common goal. So that's kind of all I have for really negotiation. There's a lot of different factors, and it mainly involves just knowing your value, being relaxed and resilient with the process, and understanding your own remuneration numbers, and understanding also where the employer is coming from can really set you up for success. So that's all I have for today's Tuesday Mindset Testing, colleagues. I will see y'all later in the next video. Thank you. Have a great day.